This is my diary of experiences surrounding the 2022 Boss Honors Awards, presented by the Boss Up Houston Network. Part 2. The Gown. Patakis. Ounmi ojo aje, belu merinla, odonik bawa mejile logun. Marundi logota ojo igba oru. Monday, November 14th, 2022, 55 days into autumn equinox. The moon was waning in my zodiac house, Leo. Ibashe Yamanja. The day vibrated on a 4. A good time to bolt down foundations, maybe? It's still Scorpio season, and since the 29th of October, I'd nearly sprouted several new platinum hairs trying to find a dress for this occasion. Shopping online was a headache. Everything was either too sexualized, too boring, or just wasn't my style. You know, it reminded me of that episode of Scandal when Melly Grant became president. And she says, I have to pick an outfit that's going to please the fashion blogs without offending the conservatives. Considering my position in life, I could relate. So I didn't want to be too sexualized, but I didn't want to be too boring, and some of the dresses just were not my style. And these things were aside from having to look out for the online sharks that show you a picture of a fashion masterpiece and then mail you a total disaster. So one night, after hours and hours of searching, I got so frustrated that I just had to stop and breathe. I realized in that moment that I was out of balance. I just decompressed and opened my spirit to receive the gown that I was meant to wear. After a few moments, I heard it as clear as day. Go to the cottage shop on Monday. For those of you that don't know, the cottage shop is a resale and consignment boutique in the Montrose area of Houston. I frequented this shop on a regular before the 2020 plague, and this would be my first time returning since. What I loved most about shopping was the fact that 100% of the proceeds from the boutique go to helping other women reclaim stability in their lives. And me being a woman who knew shaky grounds well, I found this spiritual affirmation to be more than appropriate. I sure do love a win-win situation. I set out on the day of this diary. It was a damp, cloudy, misty moon day, but still pleasant. I got there early, almost as soon as they opened, and I went straight to the formal gown rack. There were only 2 dresses in my size, one a bronze copper color, the other a rich fuchsia. Both colors were sacred to Oya. I snatched both of them off the rack and went to the dressing room. In all honesty, I was more fixated on the bronze copper dress, just looking at the 2 dresses on the hangers. The copper matched my skin. The jewels on it were beautiful, and it just had kind of a straight, windy flow. The fuchsia one didn't really look like much on the hanger. It more so jumped in my hand because it was the color of my divinity, and it was the only other option that was in my size. So I stripped down in the dressing room and slipped into the bronze one, but alas, there were too many biscuits in the pan and I couldn't zip it. Damn. I just shook my head and took off the dress. I was really disappointed in that moment. I tried the fuchsia one, mainly so that it wouldn't be a completely wasted trip. My disappointment dissolved instantly. The bronze dress was immediately forgotten because the fuchsia gown fit perfectly. The first thing I noticed was how smoothly the dress glided over my body and zipped just right. It had the perfect grip, not too tight, not too loose, and not in the very least bit uncomfortable anywhere. I didn't even have to get the hem taken in because I'm short. That never happens. It was vintage. Vintage to match my old soul. And the design of the fabric reminded me of a little tornado. And tornadoes are sacred to the orisa Oya, for those of you who are unfamiliar with orisa tradition. So was the vibrant purple of the fabric. I felt like Odysseus when he shot the arrow through all 12 axes cleanly. Jackpot. I decided in that moment that this gown would not only be for the award show, but a ceremony gown to Oya as well. A sacred garment. Yes. I slipped into the hall of mirrors in the dressing room and of course got the stamp of approval from almost all of the other shoppers. Of course I purchased it, put it in the cleaners, and then headed out to grab the silk for Mama Joyce's crown. Back to mothershipping.